Hey guys, so just a quick heads up before we start. I'm going to be trying this on camera just to try and kajigger up the presentation of Second Opinion. I'm trying out something new. Tell me if you prefer this or if you would like me to go back to the old method of the wood panel screen and just random images. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Anyway. So recently, game developer Bethesda Softworks rolled out their Creation Club feature to Fallout 4. It's basically a digital storefront for microtransactions, which require the purchase of a proprietary currency in specific increments in order to purchase what Bethesda themselves call mini DLCs, made by community members, but in reality are just paid mods. And not even good paid mods. You can find most, if not all of this stuff in higher quality and better detail and complexity on the Nexus. Of course, no one really is enthused with the advent of Creation Club, nor are they really taking the bait. The one positive feature of the Creation Club is that unlike traditional mods, it doesn't disable achievements when you install them, which even purely cosmetic mods on console and PC will do. But this one positive note is drowned out by pricing schemes forcing players to buy more credits than they need with more money than they'd like to spend, very limited amounts of code the Creation Club file type allows content creators to work with, the amount of useless fluff available, the notion that Creation Club won't just re-upload existing mods being thrown out the window on day one even if it was for a legally sound reason, the horse armor microtransaction being an ironically bad taste, and all of the Creation Club content being installed on the user's hard drive without permission and remaining as unusable bloatware until you pay to download the plugin that activates it, at least on the console versions. The PC version just recently has been freed from this, but the stuff that Creation Club launched with, that's still kind of stuck on your hard drive. And this is all just with the Creation Club on Fallout 4. It hasn't even officially launched yet for Skyrim Special Edition, though the Steam page for it has been launched at the time that I wrote this. And already people are up in arms over the advent of Skyrim's very own survival mode. Like with Fallout 4, survival mode for Skyrim will make the game more difficult, disabling fast travel, requiring players to keep track of their hunger, warmth, and other various statistics, and making combat more difficult. However, unlike with Fallout 4, Skyrim's survival mode will not come in a free update. Instead, it'll be a piece of paid content through Creation Club, which originally had the tentative price of 500 credits in the reveal video for the program, and that could have been purchased with the lowest tier credit packages, which was about 750 credits for $8. But now it's looking to cost 800 credits, just beyond the range of the lowest tier credits packages, forcing players to drop $15 for content that costs closer to around $8. And this is for content that was released last year for free for Bethesda's other big mainstream hit. There is a bit of a silver lining in regards to Skyrim Survival Mode, however, and that is within the first week of availability, players of Skyrim Special Edition across all platforms, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC will be able to download Survival Mode for free and keep it. But if you miss that 1 week window, then you have to pony up some cash for, again, content that was released as part of a free update for Bethesda's other big mainstream title last year. The obvious reasoning for this is that Bethesda is keenly aware of the backlash that Creation Club has been facing and is allowing survival mode to go for free for that 1 week in order to get as many consumers to go to the Creation Club storefront as possible in that short span of time, so that they'll also see what else they have available in terms of content there, and then shell out some cash to pay for a proprietary currency to pay for Bethesda's paid mods. It's a smart business move, and even if 90% of those people who do hop on the Creation Club store just for survival mode don't download anything else there, then they may still have a positive experience with the survival mode, thus giving a positive impression somewhat of the Creation Club, which will then incentivize people to come back and pay for Bethesda's currency to pay for paid mods later. Now, when I personally learned about Skyrim's survival mode being free for the first week, I was interested for a moment, but then two thoughts ran through my head. One is that I don't have Skyrim Special Edition for my PC, my Xbox One, or my PS4. I have vanilla Skyrim for my PC and I have it for my 360, but I did not get all of the DLC for the PC version, so I did not get Skyrim Special Edition for free when that came out on PC. And the second is that I don't plan on buying Skyrim Special Edition because I'm not really that big a fan of Skyrim. I mean, the week it came out, initially for the 360 back in 2011, I borrowed it from a friend for like a week and I beat it. I did the Dark Brotherhood quest, I assassinated the Emperor, and I had some fun with it, but every time I go back to it now, I just get really bored and I drop it within a couple hours, regardless of whether or not I have any mods installed. It's just really boring to me. In fact, the more that I think about it, the more I realize I don't really like the games that Bethesda's made themselves that I've played. Skyrim is so open-ended that it's boring to me. Fallout 3 had a morality system that was so extreme and binary that really there wasn't any nuance to any decisions you made. The capital wasteland never really seems affected by the choices you do make outside of blowing up Megaton for no good reason. There isn't any wiggle room to come up with a backstory for your character because of how everything is just sort of pre-made for you. Characters are flat and one-dimensional, and the list goes on for Fallout 3. As for Fallout 4, oh fucking Christ, where do I start with Fallout 4? The RPG elements have basically been stripped almost completely out, so it's much more of a shooter with some light RPG elements, so it kind of throws the point of Fallout out the window to an extent. The voice protagonist takes away from the feeling that you're actually playing your own role with your own character. You don't feel like you're role-playing, you know, the name of the genre, role-playing game. The consistent need to have 4 dialogue options at any time leads to both the shorthand being very misleading and very redundant in that there are times where 3 of your 4 options have your character say exactly the same thing, and there are times when you do pick something that you think you want to say, it's not exactly how you want, so it can be misleading. The plot itself is just a role-reverse copy-paste of Fallout 3's plot with far less agency, and the 4 factions available in the game are not only underdeveloped, but between all 4 of them there are only 2 endings, which are just, do you want to destroy the Institute, or do you want to become the Institute, basically? It's very not good. I give it credit that it had more choice than Fallout 3 did, but even still, it's not enough. Fallout 4 was a mess. It was several steps backwards.
All of this just works. It's not, I'm not kidding. And again, it just works.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
And that's not even getting into other aspects of Bethesda as a company, such as continually sticking with the Gamebryo engine and just modifying it for every single game. This has led to a lot of their games launching with an innumerable amount of bugs that they do patch to an extent, but most of it is patched out by modders on the PC. I understand that game development is expensive, but honestly this comes off as lazy rather than more economical. And then of course there's Bethesda withholding review copies of a game until 24 hours before the game comes out. The official reasoning is because Bethesda wants both critics and consumers to be able to enjoy the game at the same time, but in reality, you know, let's just be real about this. It's just a way to bolster day one sales numbers uninhibited by the potential knowledge that the game that players may be buying may be utter garbage. It also serves as a way to inspire and grow the cult of personality surrounding both Todd Howard and Bethesda as an entity in the video game industry, and it's horrifically anti-consumer. Ultimately, Bethesda's actions as of late have been weighing on myself and many others, and I think it's about time for me to finally say it. I am done with Bethesda and the games that they develop. I am sick and tired of their anti-consumer practices and downright negligence in regards to game development. Fallout 3 was a bad Fallout game and a deeply flawed game based on its own merits. Skyrim is so incredibly vast and open, but with far too much repetition and too little complexity to keep me playing. Fallout 4 was several massive steps back from Obsidian's Fallout New Vegas, and still regressive compared to the already flawed Fallout 3. Their decision to withhold review copies is disgustingly deceitful. The continued use of Gamebryo is becoming more and more detrimental to their games. Creation Club is horrifically anti-consumer and qualifies as both paid mods and microtransactions in a full-priced AAA game, something that I just cannot stand for. And of course there's Skyrim being ported to seemingly everything. I'm still waiting on when it's coming to my toaster, but even then I'm not gonna play it. Between all of this, I'm just done with Bethesda's games. Just finished. However, there is a small caveat to this. I will be keeping an eye out on games that Bethesda publishes. After all, Fallout New Vegas, despite Obsidian not getting a very long development cycle, compared to Bethesda's own in-house Fallout titles, is one of my all-time favorite games, with all my gripes with Fallout 3 being addressed. Then there's id Software's 2016 reboot of Doom, which I reviewed last year on this channel and found to be so absolutely exhilarating. Bethesda may be a shit developer in my eyes, but as a publisher, they've done well so far in my experience. So well, in fact, that I plan to pick up Doom for my Switch so I can rip and tear on the go, and I've been considering trying out both Dishonored and id Software's reboot of Wolfenstein when they go on sales and I have the money. Plus, speaking of the Switch, Bethesda really does seem committed to putting games on the platform, especially when you think that Skyrim was one of the very first third-party games to be revealed to be coming to the console / portable. And of course there was the bombshell that was Doom getting a Switch port and Wolfenstein 2 The New Order also coming to the Switch, albeit a little bit after the Xbox One, PS4, and PC versions come out. But hey, if that's what it takes to get the game working on the Switch, getting it stable, getting it to be all around just a good experience on the go, then I think it's perfectly fine. Plus, it's id that's developing it, and not Bethesda. This, however, does not excuse Bethesda's shadier business and development practices in my eyes. As much as I want Bethesda's games to succeed on the Switch, I personally will not be picking up Skyrim for the platform. Doom and Wolfenstein, though? Well, they're only published by Bethesda, so they're fair game to me. Plus, fucking Doom on the go? Like, I already said, that's fucking awesome. But after these last few years, with Fallout 4 being a massive step backwards, numerous Skyrim ports, and their attempts to monetize mods through both Steam and the Creation Club, I feel that it bears repeating. I am done with Bethesda. For the foreseeable future, I will not be purchasing any games that they develop. This means no Skyrim Special Edition or the Switch version. I won't be trying out Oblivion, Morrowind, or Elder Scrolls Online. The only Fallout games I'll be playing will be Fallout 1, 2, and New Vegas. I won't be buying the Skyrim or Fallout 4 DLC that I don't have. I'll still be keeping an eye on games that they publish that were developed by other companies, but other than that, Bethesda Softworks is currently on my shit list. Now tell me, what do you guys think of Bethesda and their Creation Club? Do you feel that it's a good idea implemented poorly, a good idea from the get-go, poorly conceived? What do you think of Bethesda and their games? Do you like Skyrim? Do you think Fallout 4 is one of the best games you've ever played? Please, let me know in the comments. Let's get a discussion going. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.